Little push off the start. They reacted in the middle of the course, and confirmation there that at the finish it was Scotch College who were ahead from Shrewsbury. Back up to the start for another heat of the women's quads, the Princess Grace Challenge Cup, between two Dutch crews, Hollandia Road Club from the Netherlands on the left of your picture, and Skøll, again from the Netherlands, on the right of your picture on the Buckinghamshire station.
We've seen some good sculling by the Skøll team yesterday, and now we're seeing it in the women's quads, and they're actually taking it out there. I'd expect the Dutch crew the national Dutch crew on the left of your screen, Berkshire station, to be moving away, but they're throwing it at them and keeping within touching distance there. Good start by both crews.
So this ASR Skøll crew that we're looking at now, just moving off to start into their sort of rhythm phase. They are a crew that took third place at the Duisburg Regatta, the international regatta, and they rode a 6:35 on the Bosvan course, and 6:35 is a pretty decent time in women's quadruple sculls. That's the Skøll crew we're looking at. Really, there's only going to be one winner in this race. Accidents with the booms or anything else going down the course, and that is the Dutch national team on the far side of the course. How do you rate what their sculling's like as we join them sort of halfway down at Fawley? How do you rate their sculling, Jess, compared to the British women's quad that we saw earlier this morning?
Yeah, I mean, the Dutch are kind of a class crew. They've won quite a few medals recently on an Olympic level. They've got the silver in Rio, so they certainly have that pedigree and they know how to do it. And they look like one of the Dutch crews you'd expect. It looks quite low, it looks quite long, it looks rhythmical. But it's a punchy boat, the quad. It's quite an upright boat. I always think about the Croatian men's quad from a few years back. The Sinkovic brothers used to sit in the middle of that. It's quite a punchy, upright boat. And if the Dutch can transfer some of that long, fluid rowing into this boat class, they'll be well up there. It's always easy, though, to be up front. I keep commentating saying these crews look long and loose, but of course they're sitting a few lengths up on their opposition, so that's a nice place to be.
So the 30-year-old Olivia van Rooyen, who is stroking that boat from the De Hoop Club in the Netherlands. We've seen it go away. Sophie Sauer in the three-seat 32. Inge Janssen, you mentioned that silver medal crew. She's the survivor from that crew that took silver behind Germany in Rio. And Roos de Jong, who was in a double at the start of this season, supposed to be with Lisa Chaynard, but Nicole Boykers, who was in this Dutch women's quad, is injured, got a back injury. So Lisa Chaynard's here in the single. I think Nicole Boykers is recovering, and Nicole, if you're watching this, we wish you well on your road to recovery. Hope to see you back in a boat soon. But Roos de Jong from the Proteus Ertes Club, the 25-year-old, is in her place.
Yeah, we just saw the shot of Inge Janssen there in a two-seat. A slight bend of the arm. Now, Inge's spent quite a time in a single scull, so she's probably fairly efficient in her sculling. And we'd like to look at rowing and think you leave a long, strong arm, because bending the arm sometimes reduces the power. There's a very famous German rower, Katrin Boran, who used to have a good bend of the arm. And I think if your arm is strong enough and the lats are strong enough, and that's a kind of held position, it can be a successful way to scull.
Yeah, Natalia Madaj, the Polish stroke of that double that won the Golden Olympics, beat Thornley and Granger, and she's got that bent arm too. And it must, you know, you're never going to coach it, but it must be possible. You hold the power in your lats. And Katrin Boran, as you mentioned, you know, you'd look at her and then how many Olympic gold medals does she have? 3, 4?
She's got a bag full.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she? So, two Dutch crews in this heat of the Princess Grace Challenge Cup for open women's quadruple sculls. On the right of your picture, it's the Dutch national team from Hollandia Row Club, and on the left of your picture, the crew from ASR Skøll from the Netherlands. And if you're wondering what ASR stands for, it's Allemagne Amsterdamse Studentenroeivereniging Skøll.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
Yeah, I'm not glad I said it, actually, because I'm sure I will have made some mistakes.
Get some complaints.
Yeah, 3:25 to Fawley, decent time to the halfway mark for these two crews.
So they can just keep relaxed now, keep ahead, make sure they don't make any mistakes. There's one-on-one racing. And the Skøll crew, this is their last chance. They're going to be putting themselves under pressure, coming down the enclosures, see what they can do with the sprint. but I think they're a bit out of touch now with this national team.
Well, you know, this is going to be a great competition because we've got the Chinese national team who I think are unbeaten this season, and you know, their stroke woman Kui Jiao Tong is just a fantastic exponent. Really sits in the boat, really powerful, really fluid, and the Chinese are in the top half of the draw, and Hollandia Road Club are in the bottom half of the draw. So I think the Chinese will go through to race the British in the future round, should they progress through the heat this morning.
Nice shot of the Dutch crew there, really strong in those shoulders and deliver powerful strokes.
Yeah.
Clamp down the enclosures now.
Yeah, the Dutch just coming through to the finish. We'll have a look at the finish camera shots. They have led all the way. Skøll have stuck to their task, stuck to their guns the whole way down, the crew in the red, but only one winner of this race, barring accidents, and the crew from Hollandia Road Club will take this heat at Princess Grace Challenge Cup for women's quadruple sculls.